Here are a couple different altcoins that I bought recently. Without going into too much detail, this man over here that on Instagram often flexes how much he makes in crypto has his own private community. About 7 months ago, I reviewed said community. Now I will not tell you exactly what they mentioned, but let's just say things that are based on base, including alien base over here, as well as other things that have to do with it, seem to be mentioned in there quite often. I think over the next month and a half, if it does the exact same cycle as it usually does, we would see this spike up here, which we spiked between March and April, just now in the future, 4 years later. And then recently, while I looked into different ways online to either play a couple different games or to bet on the Super Bowl, as well as a couple other sports events, I saw Rake bid over here, and they have a pretty cool idea behind it. First of all, there's a welcome pack where you get up to 200 free spins, as well as 50% free bets up to $100. And they also have over 7,000 different games and sports available, which means if you scroll down, there is nearly an endless amount. Just when it comes to new games that they had, you can scroll down, click on load more, and then there are more and more and more and more, which means whatever you specifically like, they very likely have it. When you want to sign up, when you want to use the site, there's no KYC required. You can even quickly sign in using either Gmail or your Telegram account. Use any promotion code, maybe there's one down below. And you can then see in the top right corner what is available when it comes to depositing different cryptos to the site. So far we got pretty much all the big ones, including Bitcoin, any stablecoin, whether it's USDT or USDC. We even got Ton, Doge, Sui, Shiba, and a couple more. And then once you select any of these, it generates the address as well as asks you on what chain you want to deposit that on, which makes it pretty simple for anybody who already holds some crypto to get started here. Once you withdraw, let's say you play something, you win, you want to withdraw all your winnings, that doesn't have any extra fees, which means you can simply take it out, done. Here's the thing that I personally use the most, and that is instead of playing games where the chance is fairly random or betting on sports, which I don't understand, I understand esports, which means whether it's Counter-Strike, Dota 2, FIFA, or even League of Legends, you can bet on that. So if all we do is we click on LCK, for example, and see that T1 is going to play against Hanwha Live, I don't want to say T1 always wins, but if you like free money, then you will get a 1.55 multiplier on your bet. But you know, not financial advice, obviously. Like any site, there's also a referral system behind it, which means if you get more people to invite, there's always a bonus when it comes to that. And they also got some additional bonuses over here, the rake back, in which 25% of everything that you play with gets a rake back in there. And they're also planning on releasing their own token fairly soon, which could be pretty big, especially when it comes to all the benefits a token like that can hold. Now, as mentioned in the beginning, if you want to play and you understand the risks and you are a responsible adult, they're up to 200 free spins, up to 50% free bets of up to 100 USDT when it comes to sports. And you never know, maybe you find something that you like. Link is down below. And now let's get back to the video. If you ever get annoyed when it comes to different wallets where you have to set up your MetaMask but also your Phantom, then you have to add a different network because something is traded on Polygon or on Base, and there are way too many things to keep track of. This unifies everything, so your account balance is simply how much is in your account, and you can trade anything to anything on any chain. Everything is centralized in one, where you get all the benefits from decentralization. Even recently, when Barra Chain launched, I think I was live immediately on Universal X as well, which means at launch, there were a couple alternative ways to put money on there as well and buy tokens, which would have been a clear 14x within like the first 30 minutes or so, if you were early. Just something that I think is cool, but let's talk about the coins. Think of these two over here of Alien Base as well as Aerodrome Finance as the Uniswap, but on Base. If you were to look at the 1 month or 1 year chart, things look great and then they don't look great, because here is what crypto does. Things go up, everybody wants to buy it, and then they go down and people want to sell it. You gotta flip that mentally and make sure that at this stage down here, when it goes down and it's boring and sad, you want to buy, and then when it's happy and it only goes up, that's when you sell. So for my personal portfolio, I added these two over here, the same with Destra and other AI coins, as it seems to do the same thing over and over. It starts at the bottom, it goes up, everybody gets bored, AI dies, and then it goes up again, and then it goes down again. Pretty much when Alex Becker mentions that this isn't a hard cycle, you just have to be patient. That's kind of the thing right now. That's all you gotta do. You buy something that you like, where the idea is good, and then hold it long term. Same with 0x0. The first time I saw this was about 1.5 years ago, when it first got to about 50 cents, and back then I wish I would have bought it because it went to 50 cents. And then I didn't buy it and it went down to like 10 cents. And then I thought, okay, this time I will buy it, and I bought it and it went up to 50 cents. I didn't sell it. I'm still holding it because I would have expected this to go a lot higher, but you can see a clear trend over there. Whenever the market dips, it seems like this big deal on this small chart over here. If you zoom out, it's not really a big deal. You just gotta wait for this to repeat the exact same thing as it did 4 years ago, with a new all-time high coming soon. Now you can pick any coin basically that has to do with AI or that is on base. When it comes to memes, for example, you can pick Brett. That is very likely going to go back to all-time highs fairly soon. For the most basic strategy, you would click on CoinMarketCap and then you see the categories up here. You click on AI, buy all of that, do nothing for the next 5 months. Sell it, be happy. If that's all you would do, you'll probably outperform 90% of people in the market as you find something that you like, then realize that the current price has nothing to do with the quality of the project, as it wouldn't make any sense that it's worse now, 2 months later, than it was back in December last year, when the price was twice as high. In that time frame of 2 months while the value went down, the project and quality went up. So the next time everything pumps, it's probably going to go above that line. Now there are a couple other coins that I have in mind, but they're all super micro cap. I think the smallest one I mentioned here so far was Alien Base with 20 mil. A coin that I found before when they had their pre-sale and then launched and went to, what was it, $13, so about a 100x since launch, was Reploy AI. And I find coins like these in different private communities. Keep in mind, I don't have my own. I'm simply part of a couple. I have a link down below to them. For example, there is one by Fire Hustle, there is the Wealth Group, and also the YouTuber, your friend Andy, has the ZZZ Money Club. All things that I would personally recommend, but again, not my own. Just high quality communities where you get coins like these before they launch. But then, just like everything AI based, came down quite a bit. And while the current value is a lot more stable, it makes a lot more sense. Pretty much anything AI based can go to 100 mil and higher, especially when the bull run picks up again. So I think things like Reploy and others in the same category are probably going to go a lot higher. And then lastly, as I mentioned in almost every single video, this man seems to be right based on the decisions that he made in the past. If you have a lot more money to, let's honestly call it what it is, gamble with, buy an NFT in Neo Tokyo. Even if right now they sit at 3.5 ETH and they used to be at like 6 just a month and a half ago, once gaming in crypto picks up again, the first 2 rows are going to be sold out pretty much immediately. And you will look at prices at 12 to 20 ETH for sure for these, considering that almost every single founder and project that is in crypto gaming is in here. Price is pretty high, it's still at around $10,000 at the moment, but these peaked at, I think, like 60,000 or 70,000 last bull run on OpenSea. And because they act as a membership card, while also being a great networking tool for the projects in there, this is something as well that you can consider if you have $10,000 lying around and you feel like, sure, let's buy a picture of a soldier with a newspaper. Because if you think that any of these projects is going to take off, then Neo Tokyo is probably going to be worth a lot more. The difficult thing in here is timing it correctly. Because if the market goes up first by 50%, but you have an NFT that doesn't change in value, then you feel like you should have bought it later than right now. But whatever happens next, we don't know. What if out of nowhere GTA 6 is going to say, oh, by the way, we're gonna accept crypto in here? Could immediately take the entire thing of crypto gaming, the entire market cap, and double that or triple that. We went up a little bit in the past week, and I think whenever prices are down and you think it's boring, everybody lost their money in there, that's when you buy. It feels wrong, but ignore your emotion, look at your logic, and think long term. Again though, as mentioned in the beginning of the video, if you want to buy anything at all that is unified, try Universal X. It's free as far as I know. They also had a bunch of updates where it's only a 0.1% service fee for the top 500 coins on CoinMarketCap, which means if you were to get Beam on there, the fees are lower than I think anywhere else. They improved the search ranking, they fixed a couple bugs that they had recently. This launched not too long ago, so they're still in its early phase. But just like some of the bigger YouTubers always say, sign up to as many exchanges as you can, just in case you need to buy a token immediately. Universal access that without the KYC part. And it only gets better over time. That being said, if you are old, just buy XRP. This goes to $20 eventually. And for private communities, the ones I'm in that I could recommend would be the one by Fire Hustle, Wealth Group, ZZZ Money Club, as well as Gem Hunters by Luke Belmer. They just opened the free version of this as well. If it's paid, I think it's 1 or 1.5 ETH, which is quite expensive for a yearly membership. But honestly, some of the coins that they talk about in there, which I would never mention directly, they seem to perform quite well. Links to everything down below. I give you a big hug right here, and don't lose all your money.